Okay, today we're going to show how to make an express headlight with a replaceable bulb. Now what I have is I have the headlight out of the 82. This one was already cut off. Somebody stuffed a regular car headlight bulb in there, and we're not going to do that. So what I'm going to show you is this was one off an Urban, and let me grab something here because I forgot. Now what you're going to want to do is, this is how your stock headlight will be. It'll be the same on this one. You're going to want to cut this part off. Basically, you can use a hacksaw, you can use an angle grinder, whatever you want to use to cut it off. Try and cut it off right there as flush as you possibly can. Okay? And when you're done with that, you're going to have to pull that out and break the wires that connect into the bulb inside. And that bulb inside is going to be bigger than that hole. This is what it'll look like once you cut that off. And what you're going to have to do, get a screwdriver or something and smash that bulb up on the inside. You're going to have to break it up because it's not going to fit through this hole. Dump it out, get all the glass out and everything else. And then you'll be to this point here. And okay, and once you're to this point here, what you're going to need to do is enlarge that hole. Real quick, sorry, I'm kind of unorganized here. Because this is the bulb that you're going to put in there. I think it's an 1154, I believe. Well, this one's a 10. It's an 1154 is what you're going to put in there, because that's a 6-volt dual filament bulb. Now if you see, that won't go in there. So what you're going to have to do is enlarge that hole. The easiest way to do that is get yourself a step drill bit, mount it in your drill, and start drilling that out until that bulb is just big enough to fit in there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that, and I won't make you look. Okay, I went ahead and used the drill bit, enlarged that hole. What you got to do is do a little bit at a time and take your bulb and keep checking. What you want to be able to do is put that bulb inside there, and that's going to be your new headlight bulb. Now in order to make the mount for that, because obviously you don't want to tape it in there and do it a cheesy way, I go out to Walmart and I buy these. They're stop and tail light. What are they, $5-6? And basically this is what you get. Okay, so this is what we're going to use to make a mount for this bulb. Basically you're going to take this thing and you're going to rip it apart. Save all your little screws because you're going to need them. The lens you can get rid of. The bulb that's in here is a 12-volt bulb, and obviously you can't use a 12-volt bulb in the Express, so it's a good bulb just save and keep for whatever you might need it for. Now mainly what you're interested in is this base piece. Okay, so you're going to have to separate the base piece from the main body, and also the socket that holds the bulb itself. Easiest way to do that is just start pulling on it, and you'll get it out of there. And basically I'm just pulling side to side, and I won't make you watch this whole process. Okay, keep pulling side to side, and like I said, it'll pop off, and once it pops off there, go ahead and pull that out and save that, because that's going to be for your 6-volt bulb. Right? And they both fit in there. They both work. 12 volt, 6 volt, doesn't matter. Now what you're going to have to do now is go through and check and see, because you got two wires, and you're going to need one that's for the brighter part of the bulb and one that's for the dimmer part of the bulb, and you're going to use this as the ground, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, what I got is I got a little battery charger hooked up. Ground clamp is just clamped to the bulb, and I got it on a 6-volt setting because that's what the bulb is. And you're just going to want to check. That's the black, and that's the red. And I don't know if you can see this on camera, but the red is dimmer than what the black is. Now what you're going to want to do is when you wire it up, you're going to want to wire the red to your white wire for your headlight, and the black to the blue wire, because blue wire is high beam, white is low beam, so that way you'll have a high and low. And your green wire, which is your ground, you're going to have to solder a wire right to this. So basically what you're going to have to do is clean this off, sand it off or something, get down to the metal, solder on a green wire, and that way you'll have your 3 connections. Okay, so now I got my wires soldered, I can't even say that word, soldered on, and as you can see, I got the green one soldered to the socket itself, and I got the red and the black soldered to 2 other wires that are going to connect into the harness. I didn't have a blue wire, so I had to use a yellow wire, but just to kind of show you how it should be. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow, when you put your bulb in, the white will be the low beam, and this should be blue, but okay, and this is what I was talking about. Basically just what I used. Okay, well, my camera decided to die, so what you didn't get to see is I took the base off of here, and these are the pieces that were on it. What I did is I basically just cut most of that stuff off and left a little bit on the edges, so I got a place to put a screw. The next thing you got to do is when you got your wiring all done up, you'll notice that this part sits up higher, so you got to cut a notch. Probably not even in camera. You got to cut a notch so that piece will fit through there. And another good thing to do is these small little notches are where the tabs on the bulb go through here. If you want to get a small file and file them out, it makes it easier to put the bulb in, and I'll show you when it's all put together. That's what your little notch is for, is to clear that. And when you get it all the way in, them small little notches are so you can actually put the bulb in fairly easy, so they'll slide past. And basically this is what you're going to want to get to, is this point right here. What I like to do now is go around and put a little solder on the edges of this just to hold it in place. So you're going to have to, you know, scrape the paint off and kind of sand this thing so the solder is going to stick to it. And that's what I'm going to do next. I don't know how well I'm showing this to you, but that's about where you should be. And this thing, you know, if it's not even, it doesn't really matter too much. Okay. Like I said, I took my piece and I soldered on the end of it, just to hold it on there so it doesn't move. The next thing I did is take your piece and you put it on there, and you kind of bend them sides over just a little bit. And the easiest way to line this up is if you look through there, you can actually see where your socket's at. Try and center that up as best you can, and go ahead and drill a hole through both pieces. It's not easy, but you want to drill 2 holes in this, and they have to line up as well with the light bulb itself, or with the this piece, whatever it's called. You remember I said to keep them little screws. Well, them little screws came with this, and what we're going to use those for is to actually mount this thing in there. Maybe. I don't think I drilled my hole big enough. Just to give you an idea, this is what your how your screw actually mounts. Of course, the other one will go right there, and that's basically it. You know, you got your socket all set up, ready to go. You now have a replaceable bulb, maybe. Why is it not turning? Okay, so there you got your replaceable bulb. Take your bulb, put it down in there, put your 2 little mounting screws on. This is always tough to do when I'm trying to film myself. And there, and that's, you know, from the inside or looking in, it's not real great, and this bulb is kind of crappy anyway, but basically now you have a replaceable headlight, and that's really all there is to it. All you got to do is wire it in. You know, you got your ground, your low and your high, put it back in the holder, and you're done. Hope that helps. Hope that explains a few things, and hopefully you got to see everything. And this is the end result. I'll put it back together. You got low and you got high, and obviously you know, there's your high, there's your low. Works like a charm. It's not the brightest thing in the world at night, but it's better than no headlight at all.